Hello, 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 hello. Hmm. Well, that's a strange title, isn't it? Safe Haven is dead. Long live Creative Haven. What on earth is all that about? Well, the last video I made, I was talking to you about how I was trying to get an old craft group off the ground. And that old craft group was called Safe Haven. And it was primarily for people who had profound learning disabilities. Oh, excuse me. And it was a long time since we'd met together, but I I suddenly had the opportunity to use a particular venue. I thought it was going to drag on for a while, and then suddenly it happened, and I thought, well, in the short term, the best thing I can do is to get the old one off the ground. Well, I try and get the old one off the ground, and it's gone. I oh, do you know? I think I'll just go and do something about this lighting. Just hold on a minute. That's a bit better, isn't it? Well, the I was trying to do something, trying to sort pick up this old craft group. I was sort of trying to resurrect Safe Haven, and I'd made phone calls and I'd invited people, and I get there and nobody turns up. Not a single soul. Nobody turns up. I'm thinking, four calls, four people didn't turn up. Something, this group is definitely dead. There's nothing I can do to resurrect it. Right. So, Safe Haven is dead. Long live Creative Haven. Creative Haven? What's that? Well, that is something. That is my next step, my next project. It's different to Safe Haven in the sense that it's for a different group of people and serving a different purpose. You see, the old group, the Safe Haven group, that was designed to, well, the main reason why that group of people were there was the idea was to help the other person. See, because we'd set this craft group up with two of us. And the other person had this dream of working with people with learning disabilities, and she needed to make some contacts to get on and do things to sort of pick up some skills and on there and learn the landscape of what sort of things that are around about for those who are already with who have those sort of issues and learn more about that. Well, that was what our original aim was. And I was backing her up with that because I wanted to learn more about working with other people. She wanted to learn with that. And I learned quite a few things with that prototype. But obviously that prototype is it's gone. It's dead. I'm there. And you know, in a strange way, I'm almost rejoicing. It almost feels, in a way, as though a weight has been lifted off me. I don't have to go back to the old. I can let the old lie, let the old stay dead there. I don't have to resurrect the dead. I don't have to work that through. It's all gone, and in a sense, it didn't work. Setting that off the ground, it didn't work, but it answered a question. It's not didn't work, it's not going to work, it's not designed to work, and God stopped it in its tracks. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it there. That was something that was in the past that's going to stay in the past, that's going to stay in the past and be a whole load of experience and a whole load of it's going to be good things come out of it, but it's in the past. It's the memories. It's It's the fruitful soil that's going to produce the next crop. So, what is safe haven? The next crop. Sorry, what is creative haven? The next stop. Well, creative haven uses the background of that particular room. You see, every room, every facility that you use has a purpose. It has there, but there's things that it's particularly good at. You see, the room we used for Safe Haven was particularly good because it was a big room and we had the tables in the middle of the room and it was really easy to maneuver wheelchairs around. This new room, which is the one that God chose for us, not me, he told me about it and got me involved with that one. It was his idea, not mine. Was not so good for those sort of people. You see, you couldn't squash things in, you couldn't work it out. It's a whole different setup, it's a whole different dynamics. It's different because it's in a different location, it's a different size room, it's a different location. I'm doing things on my own instead of with the backup. Well, there is backup, but it's a different sort of backup. I mean, if something went really wrong and somebody was clamoring on the door trying to get in, and there was some sort of fracas or serious incident on there, there's a security guard downstairs who would who's part of whose job, I believe, is to deal with difficult customers in that shop. So if they were being difficult on there, yeah, that would be there. And the fact that it's a public, you have to walk through a public place and it's visible to other people. It stops some people from there. I mean, I thought that looking at that venue, I thought, oh, what a brilliant venue for people who thought that other people could hurt them. See, that's what I was thinking. I mean, okay, we are talking about the UK here, and yes, there's not so much in terms of danger well, there's some knife crime. I mean, I must admit, when I first moved to this area in January 2015, I looked at the news headlines and couldn't believe them. Somebody had got a great big machete, great big knife, and was going round was going round the local supermarket and saw somebody who looked different to them and hacked their hands with this machete. That particular person was a dentist, and to my knowledge, that knife attack damaged their hands so severely, and the suggestion at the time was they would never be able to work as a dentist again because of the damage caused to their hand. So knives are not innocent. But there again, it's because the people holding them are not innocent. But it's not, there isn't the gun crime in the UK. There, we just guns are not part of our normal life like they are in the other side of the Atlantic. It's very, very rare. It's rare to see a policeman carrying a gun. Never mind anybody else. I mean, if you see guns, they're more likely to be seen in the firing range or in the army barracks. They're not usually seen on the street, and people don't normally wear them and carry them. And they're used for specific purposes. They might be used for, pest control or for clay pigeon shooting or something like that. They're not, and they're licensed, and it's a whole different culture in terms of guns. so which then makes it very much safer. But that still doesn't mean that there are some people who want to do things but don't feel safe. They don't feel safe from their drunken husband or somebody that's argumentative and violent and aggressive and just plain unpleasant to be around. So that it's, and when I said that that's the sort of thing that I wanted to do a craft group with, and to that one of the organizers there, and I said, yeah, he agrees with me. It would be, because it's a public place, it would be a good place for doing something where people wanted to feel safe if they thought that they could be a victim of domestic violence or any other coercive type of coercion or control, and they would be able to escape there, and it would be a good place for that. So I was going to do this creative haven. See there? You've got the creative aspect, and you've got the haven aspect. So a haven is a safe place. I did look it up in the dictionary, and a haven is sort of a sort of harbour, a special sort of harbour, where ships go to stay safe in a storm. So yeah, creative haven, doing creative things in a safe place. Yeah, that works really well. So now, safe haven is gone, dead. No more thoughts about that whatsoever. That's gone. But if I do creative haven, there, and that means that that's one weight lifted off my mind. Because I was talking to somebody yesterday and I was thinking, well, I've got this and this and this and this. And how am I going to do it all? Where am I going to find the time and the energy and the wherewithal to do it? And now Safe Haven is dead, and I don't have to share my limited resources of time and energy with Safe Haven. I can concentrate on working on the creative haven. Yeah, that's and in one sense, as much as I love the people that we worked with at Safe Haven, then they were a really special bunch. It's a different thing. It was a different setup, a different time, and it's gone. We can't resurrect that, but we can bring some life into a new thing. And that is brilliant. And that has taken so much weight off my shoulders. You'd never think that something not working out like that would actually make you rejoice, lead to you using words like rejoice, relieved, and it's a case of, that's gone. That's gone. I can do something else. I don't have to go back to that. I can say, right, end of that, gone there, and I can start something new there. But I have been working on the new things. Oh, I've had that in my mind. I've had all sorts of things in there. I have been looking for things along the theme of A6. If you don't know what A6 is, I have demonstrated it in a video before. A6, there. So this piece of paper is A4. I fold it in two. And you now see an A5 piece of paper. I fold it again in half into 4 pieces, and that is now an A6 size of piece of paper. And I've got lots of pieces of card and lots of shapes I've got some shapes to draw around. Actually, I took those with me today. I took the packs of I've got some A6 greetings cards, some that open up that way, some that open up, well, let's see if I can fold it round the other way, and some that open up that way, sort of landscape on there, some that open that way with a fold there and open up that way. I have got lots of different colored cards and paper that I gathered from making activity packs like the ones I took with me today. So I've got the resources, and I was working out how to do this. Excuse me. And I was working it through. So I've got those ideas in mind there of using A6 there to make pictures and pictures, so like postcard type pictures, that some of which you could put in a frame. I've got the idea of making cards that you can there on there. I've got the ones I took with me today were the activity packs, and they had pieces of plywood in, so like little pieces of wood of various shapes. I don't have any with me at the moment, but they're basically pieces of wood that would fit onto an A6 piece of paper that you draw around, and you could make, and then, for example, you could do a sun, as you know, a sun shape, a sun shape, as in a circle with lots of little rays around it, and you'd cut that out of, say, yellow paper and put it on blue card, and there you've got a picture. I think one of my favorite ones that I did, I actually really liked it so much I put it in a frame. It was a white whale. Yep, a sort of a whale shape, and I cut this out of cut the whale shape out of white paper, put it on a teal background, sort of very similar color to the background that's behind me now, and there, so you can see how well that white text looks on that there. So imagine that as a whale shape on there, and then in a white frame. It was incredibly simple to make. It didn't take me very long. I actually managed to make it outside on a market stall, if truth be known. On there, it was so relatively easy to do. And it creates the most beautiful picture that is got simple classic lines, absolutely gorgeous, and yet ever so simple to make. So simple I can stand on a market stall and make it just as it is. And it was designed specifically so that you held down, so you had the card, and then you put the shape on, and somebody held the shape, and you could draw around it, and it was done in such a way that you could make work with a less able and a more able person together could actually do it. So the less able person could hold the shape in place while the more able would draw it round. The more able could cut it out, and the less able would, and they should be able to put glue on it, and then the less able would be able to press it down there, and they'd be able to participate in doing something that looked absolutely fantastic. And I love doing those. And I thought that, it's the color and it's the choice of color is important. That white and the teal look to me, looks fantastic. There it's a lot of white on there, and so it's a choice of color, choice of shape, and you can make something extremely simple, but very classic, absolutely gorgeous. And there, and I've got all sorts of these things, which are A6 size. I've got the paper, loads of different colors of paper, loads of different colors of card, all in A6 size that don't need to be cut up anymore. I have quite a few shapes that will fit onto an A6 card. You know, all sorts of different shapes on there. Crown, a shell, different shells, gingerbread men, Christmas trees. Yeah, I have there. And then with the cards, I've got some different ribbons that you could put on, some that say happy birthday, some bits that say happy birthday that you can just snip off ribbons and stick those on. I've got a whole load of glue, a whole load of scissors, and I just put all this gear in a box, in a trolley, took it, wheeled it up to this community room and set myself up. Nobody came, but because I was working things around with that for A6 and I had loads of ideas for doing cards and there, it's not wasted because I've actually started to test the things that I want, how to transport the things that I'm going to use in the next stage. Clever. So that's one there. And I was thinking, what do I do with these people today? And I just sort of, I'll just use these old activity packs on there. And I took them, I had a test run to see how that room would work, how I'd be able to set them up in that room with those. And oh yeah, it was good. I was able to set things up. So I'm pleased I went because it gave me a chance to test the room. It gave me a chance to go into the room, see what it's like, see what the setup is like before I have a real group of people in. That's handy. So it's not a waste. It wasn't a wasted afternoon. Yes, it didn't work as I intended, but it wasn't wasted. God is so good at times. He actually organizes it. Yes, you've got these. Yes, you've got it, girl. You've got this idea. You can sort it out. Oh, thank you, Father. Thank you for sorting this out. Thank you for making this work your way. Because I can't do it my way. So now it's nearly bedtime. And I have got a whole load of ideas on my there of how to write some posters, both for on there. So some A4 posters and an A5 poster. I think I'll do a small one and a large, and the small one can probably go on the win. A small one can possibly go where to advertise the Creative Haven upstairs and by the community room, and one can go on the community notice board. Let's see how they go. I can do them there. Oh, and I'll do them. And got the logo in mind. I'm going to use a sunshine. That's a funny story. I have some friends that actually call me Sunshine Susan. And as somebody pointed out today, yeah, when you smile, you do look as though you've got sunshine. And it was a strange story. I had some pieces of wood that I wanted, that I'd got by mistake. I used them as a painting exercise and got them painted. One of them I took a photograph of, and then I tried putting then I used that photograph as the basis for embroidery, and I have now got some sweatshirts that where this says everyone can craft, I've got some that are embroidered with a bright sun, sort of yellow, orange and red coloured sun shape, or different colours because I dipped it in red, yellow, and orange. No, I dipped this piece of wood into some red, orange, and yellow paint. Let it dry. Took a picture, and now it's on some sweatshirt. Excuse me. Some sweatshirts and t-shirts. So that'll be interesting. I've got the logo, I've got the cards, I've got various ways of putting things on those cards. I'm going to fit them in with various other things on there because the whole aim is to build up people, and I've got some other ideas on how to build up people on there. You know, like I'll tell you one of the tricks I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of setting it up so that I can play some music. Not so much music. I've got some nice stuff that will got some recordings of somebody reading out a whole load of good things about people, of kind things, and of reading out good things and positive things on there. I've got 2 or 3 different recordings of the things like that. And you might find that I play them quite quietly, so they're there, but they're quiet, so that they don't disturb people. They're there so that they sink in, sort of into your spirit, into that sort of subconscious that pick them up, and they're positive, and they're nice, and they're kind, and they're brilliant, because I've got them off of somebody else I trust that does brilliant things like that, and I can do that. So I've got all sorts of things in place, and I'm going to see what happens next week, because I'm going to try and book the room, going to do the poster tomorrow and get it up and get it out and there, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant. But first of all, my next job, go to bed, spend some time thinking, letting my body recharge, letting my mind recharge, and letting my spirit and God get together, and let him give me a download while I'm asleep, because he's good at that. He's good at giving me these downloads when I'm asleep, and I wake up in the morning. I have so many, I can tell that my spirit and God have been being good friends during the night. Let's put it like that. The part of me that doesn't need sleep has been chatting to God in the night and been drawing good ideas from him, and is recharged like a battery, giving me good ideas in the morning. Well, at least that's the way it looks like to me. That's the way I do things, and recharge. So the part of me that needs sleep, the body that needs the sleep, and the body, mind, brain that needs the sleep, yeah, they get rested. And the spirit that doesn't need sleep, well, that just communes with God during the night, and I wake up and I have got a stack of a whole load of, it's like waking up to a whole series of emails, a whole series of good ideas in there. That's the way it goes with me. That's the way it goes. It's amazing. My God, it's so good. And you know, this is there. It's not. And the lovely thing about this is it's not staid, stuffy, old religion. This is life. This is real life. This is my life. This is how I live my life. It's not going to church and go what what I struggle with church, I'll be honest, is being given a prayer book and told, right, well, we start the service on this page and we read through this bit and this bit and this bit and we end on that page and you can tell I'm not that is not my cup of tea at all. Not that I drink tea, but that is not me. I don't like that sort of thing. I don't like that religious stuff where you've got to do this, do that, do the other. I'm so much more into this. Oh, yes, God's with me every day, all day, sort of there. And yep, that Jesus guy, yes, he died to make my relationship with Father God so much better. And yeah, he is responsible for making it so much easier to have that kind of relationship. And yeah, he made it possible for me to be adopted into God's family. Well, hey, I'm there and into his family. I'm part of there, adopted as one of his children, one of his special ones, one of the ones that's close to him. I'm there. And made a co-heir with Christ. What? What's hang on a minute. That sounds one of those daft phrases again. Yeah, but all it means is that as a co-heir, well, in a sense, it's a bit like me and my brother. I mean, my brother is a co-heir of my of anything that my parents will leave behind. He is a co-heir of anything there. He's my brother. He's there. We're both the children of my parents, and he is a co-heir. Mind you, so is my sister a co-heir. Don't get that the wrong way. But we are co-heirs, my brother and my sister, because we're all equal, and it's a bit like that, really. And it's that kind of relationship, oh yes, it's special, oh yes, it's sort of set apart and there, but it's not religious. It's not sort of forcing that. It's a relationship. It's a whole of goodness and mercy and kindness. Oh yeah, there's a bit of discipline thrown in. I mean, good parents don't leave out the discipline, or else they end up with spoilt brats. So there's a discipline up there, but it's special. That's me. That's all part of me, and that's the sort of thing that I want to. That sort of relationship is what there. I mean, when I used to say things like that at the Safe Haven, my friend who in the book I called Grace, she would say, oh, well, aren't you evangelistic? And I'm thinking, am I? I'm not. Evangelistic is not what you describe me as. It's the fact that it's a relationship, and yeah, and it's a good one. And oh yeah, wouldn't it be great if everybody had that relationship, and everybody does have the opportunity. You just have to say, right, I'd like to be adopted into your family, God. And I know that that's possible, and I know that it's only possible because Jesus made it possible. And because he made it possible, I accept that he's made it possible and it's all there. So would you accept me as one as one of your children? Well, that's the brief way of doing it. I've got it written down all properly in sort of one of my books where I was talking about it, making an adoption declaration. But that's all. It's not this sort of great and mighty thing about that's sort of like, I suppose, the bishop laying his hands on you and confirmation and being baptized as a baby and all that palaver. No, it's just settling down and saying, right, God, I want to be your child, and I know the only way that I can be your child is if I accept that Jesus made it possible to be that way, and help. I want to be your child. There's no two ways about it. I just want you. Would you help me get into that position? And even if you don't quite there, if you express your opinion that that's what you want to do and that's what you want to achieve, even if your words are imperfect and that there, if you at least express a desire to do that, they'll organize it so that somebody else will come along and say, oh, do you need a bit of help doing it this way? And you'll find that, oh yeah, you said that's what you want. Right, well, I'll come along and I'll give you a helping hand and I'll get you there. I'll get you organized. Don't worry about it. Your imperfect words don't matter. Your imperfect words don't matter. If you've not quite said the wrong thing, you don't have to worry about that. It's the relationship. You've expressed your desire and you said, yes, that's what I want. Will you help me? And he does. That's the amazing thing. The number of times I've said, oh, well, I'd like this and I'd like that and I'd like that, like the other. And could you organize it? And it's, oh, yeah, I want you to have good things like that. I want things to go right for you. Okay. And that's how it goes. It's simple, basic, absolutely. It's absolutely basic childlike faith in reality. And as the Bible says, that you need to become like a little child, to have the faith of a child in order. And there, that's important. And yeah, it's that simple childlike faith that says that trusts God. And of course, if there's something that's making it difficult to trust, maybe you've got some objections, maybe you found other people have tried to push you and shove you and maul you, and believe me, I've gone through a mauling or two from the church perspective. I hope you don't know about half of the things that I've seen in that way, the things that have gone wrong. Maybe that's why I don't like church, but I love God. Or as some people say, yeah, I'm spiritual in the sense that I have a relationship with my Heavenly Father because Jesus died for me, but I'm not religious because, quite honestly, a lot of people in the church have upset me, annoyed me, and not exactly met my needs in a variety of ways. for the last, I don't like to say how many decades, to be honest. That would give the game away, really, but pretty much since I was a teenager. People have not necessarily done the right thing around me. So, do you know, I'm looking at my clock. Oh, it's tomorrow already. It's time I was in bed. Okay, but we'll continue this conversation tomorrow and we'll see where we go. Because I want to start again with Creative Haven. And as I've gone on a little bit of a tangent and said, on there, how there, that sort of basic childlike stuff. Not your usual gospel presentation. No, nah. That's not me. It's the basic childlike, don't simple say, I mean, childlike's the best word for it. But it's what it takes. Anyway, time I was in bed and time I was in bed and getting out. Do you see that? Do you see me wobble on the screen? Do you know what I did? I'm sitting in front of the screen on the table and I bang my hands on the table and the screen wobbles. I'm going to have to avoid doing that, aren't I? Because not make very good videos. But there we are. That's me for tonight, and we'll see. And I'll see you again on there, because I have promised myself that I am going to make as many videos, hopefully make a video every day of this month on there. I've not succeeded so far, but I'm on my way. There's been a couple of missed ones, but I'm moving forwards and getting on and doing things. So yeah, and you're having the chance to get to know this rambling woman that on there that some people call Sunshine Susan. Okay. Time for bed. Bye.